Okay, welcome to the Javier Mendez podcast. We are with Javier, who's in Perth, getting ready to get on the super long airplane flight. How was that experience with all those people rooting for the other side?
I'm used to it. I mean, they were very respectful. I mean, they obviously they weren't fans of us, that's for sure. But I mean, they didn't do anything that I thought was rude or anything. Nothing like in the U.S. When you have the Niners versus the Raiders, you always got the Niners get booed, the Raiders get booed. I mean, it's just that's what I just felt. He just got booed by people that love Alex, and rightfully so. He's a great guy. He's a great champion. So it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't bad at all. Not a bad feeling at all. I didn't feel hostility. None of that. No. Now, there's other ones though. I felt some hostility, but not this one. No.
What was your most hostile one that you could recall?
Connor.
Oh yeah, remember? Jeez, duh. Trick question. Anybody watching this?
It's a trick question there. I'm like, yeah, you haven't been my partner for that long, right?
Right. I don't know.
Your name MMA newbie. If you remember that.
I no idea. It doesn't rhyme with honor. Yeah,
honor.
Okay, I know that.
Yeah,
one.
honor.
Yeah.
Honor is the right.
But prior to that, let's say something that was not so high.
Koscheck and GSP. Yeah, or anywhere Koscheck went, he got booed. They would. One time we went out and it was the chant was "F you Koscheck, F you Koscheck." He was not too well liked.
Wow, was it just how he came across to people? Maybe.
I think it was a persona. I think he's a good guy. It's just that he came across that way. He did that, like an Ultimate Fighter. He just did that to get attention, and he was really good at getting attention. So, it wasn't the real person, but that's what he portrayed. So that's what they didn't like.
He played the heel. And when you play the heel, you either make it work.
Yeah. He kind of played the heel, kind of not played the heel. He was in between the heel and not the heel. So that's why I know he was playing, because if you're a heel, you're a heel. He was kind of in between a heel and a good guy.
The two top heels, I would say, would be Connor and Chael. They played the heel to the hill, both of them.
Yes. One played it in a way where it really caused hate. Chael, well, I got to be honest. With Chael, what he did to Brazil, that was bad. But other than that, Chael's other stuff, wasn't too bad. But yeah, the Brazil part was bad. Anything when he said things about Brazil, that was on Chael's part. But Connor, almost anything he says is not cool on his part. He's just a jerk all the way around.
I know I'm veering off, but I'm teasing because people want to hear the juicy details. But do you think if guys played heel more, that they took a little note out of the WWE? Do you think fights would sell more if there was more of that emotional drama leading up to every fight?
Yeah, of course, but also if fighters are true gentlemen like Islam and Volkanovski, I think that will sell just as big, if not bigger, because people can respect the respect level, of those two guys. Even though they have the little bickering between each other, it was tasteful. It was just it was the right kind of bickering. It was very tasteful in both camps. It was done right. In my opinion, and that's the kind of challenges that you accept, and that's the kind of challenges where you can go have dinner with these guys and go to their house and hang out with them, because to me, that's the kind of rivalry this looked like to me. It wasn't one of those, I'll never step foot in that guy's house or his family, say hello to his family. No, this was, this was a sport, and both of them looked at it as a sport and nothing more.
Well, you've been a champion in kickboxing. Did you ever have a big loss that just set you back up? Did you take it hard? Did you go, I'll get him next time? Like, how did your brain switch it? Because Volkanovski was really, 22 wins, no losses since, I think, 2013, a very long time, a long stretch. And he was like, oh, I could have got it. Like that. You go home like that, scratching your head. What's the typical reaction to that?
Well, I lost twice. Out of my first loss, I went crying and the whole bit, and it made me better. My second loss, it was a championship fight, Marek Petrowski. That made me better mentally, not physically, because that one killed me physically. I burned out. I hit the burnout stage where I was nothing. I was molasses in the fight. And I was just there to survive. I didn't think I could beat that guy. I didn't have no energy. And that was the wrong mindset anyways. But regardless of that, I learned from both of those losses. Yeah. And Alex definitely from this one gained a lot of momentum, a lot of power, a lot of fans behind him thinking he could do it, or some might even thought he won, and some did, in my eyes, no, but in other people's, yeah. So it causes for interest, and the way he went about doing it is very tasteful, very, very respectable, very respectable.
No, that's the nature. I'm the same way. I'll call a loss a loss. If you get beat, be like, whoa, it happens. It happens to people. It's hard to stay unbeaten forever, isn't it? I mean, that's both he and Habib and even Usman have taken that to be their legacy, their way to ride, as long as they can.
Yeah.
Hopefully hopefully they never find defeat. But that's a hell of a thing to take on. I mean, one heck of a goal. I mean,
To
I
be
don't know.
to be in Habib's shoes, undefeated like that, it's I'm sure he retired young, sure, all of this, but he did it in style, and now people can appreciate him more than ever because it's not easy to do, 29-0, and all beating all the challengers, and every challenge was so supposed to be tougher. That he's never really met this kind of person, and he goes and destroys him. Oh, he's never really met this kind of person. Oh, and he goes and destroy him. Oh, now he's really got to challenge a D1 wrestler and destroys him. So it's kind of like, okay, now what? Now what? What are you going to throw at him? Nothing. There was nothing else to throw at him. He cleared out everybody. And in this particular situation with Alex and Islam, it was a victory. It was a clear victory to me, but it wasn't a clear cut because of the way the ending finished. Alex won the last minute of that round. And in some people's eyes, he might have won one or two of the other rounds. In my eyes, no. But people feel like, well, that right there shows who the real winner is. But reality, is no. To me, he won the last minute for sure of the last round, and that was very dominant fashion. In a very dominant fashion, the last round he won in the last minute.
Yeah, he had Islam in the toughest position he's ever been in the last minute for sure.
Yeah, Islam's
so if there's anything to win, he definitely won on that front. Yeah. I mean, some people tuned in that last round. Yeah. So imagine what their takeaway was. I mean, some people had said, "Oh, I just tuned at the end." Like, you got to watch the whole fight, to understand why. Yeah.
Well, even Alex, I read that Alex thought he won 3 out of the 5. He won, I think, the 2, 3, and 5. He definitely won 5. But look, it's subjective. I thought we won 4. He thought he won 3. It's one of those situations where it warrants a rematch somewhere down the line if the UFC deems that's what they want. But we got to remember one thing: we can say whatever we want. The UFC decides to take a different narrative and go a different direction. That's just what's going to happen. It's not going to be our choice or our decision. We could say no. The UFC can offer us the fight. Islam could say no, but I don't know if that's a necessarily smart idea, because when you say no in a contract, you extend your deal 6 months ahead, and they don't have to offer you anything until 6 months thereafter. On the majority of the contracts, I don't know what Islam's contract's about, but the majority of the contracts are, if you deny one fight, they can extend. They don't have to offer you any more, but they can extend your contract for 6 months. And they can diligently try to match you, but that could mean anything. They can diligently, hello, you want to fight Islam now? You know what I mean? It's like, how can you prove diligently? You can't. So it's one of those situations where whatever Islam gets offered next it's going to be a yes, whatever the UFC says, and then we'll go from there. When is the time, though, right? I mean, that's the time is going to be of importance, because he's not going to fight during Ramadan time, and Ramadan starts in March 25th to April 25th. So there's no training between then. Then from there, he's going to get a training camp. He's going to want at least 10-week training camp to 3-month training camp. So what are we talking about from there, right? So Islam's next fight, more than likely, I'm hoping it'll be in Abu Dhabi.
That would be great. So what was your thoughts? Where you were watching this fight, you coached him for this fight, you're a part of this fight, you're in the corner. Was there any secret advice or anything you could disclose that you were telling him when you were in the corner with him?
Yeah, of course. I was telling him, be the matador, stay on the outside, don't stay in the inside of brawl with him. He has a good chance there, and grapple with him. That's where you showed the most dominant and the grappling. And he knew that. But the thing of it is that I was not aware is that Alex was a lot more trickier to take down than even I anticipated. I knew Islam would take him down. I just didn't fully understand how tough it was going to be. It was tougher, but I knew he wouldn't take him down. But it was tougher than I thought. I knew Alex would go down, and I knew he'd go down more than once. But I didn't know how well he would survive. And he actually got stronger as the rounds went on, because and I heard too through friends of people that know about him, and they said that he's known to have like unlimited cardio and strength in the later rounds. And you know what? He proved that. And Islam, proved he was in great shape. Was anything wrong with Islam? I don't think so. But, there was a difference for us. He was slightly, tired, and it could be because normally we have a 36-hour window to recover. This time was 24, and Alex didn't really have to recover as much because he went up in weight. Who knows if that's a factor? I don't know. I just know.
I would guess it to be, but I mean, I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm just saying, like, I know, like I told you, and this is like, I just noticed that, like, to me, this is just me, Mr. Fan on the outside going, he looked dehydrated to me because he drank like a whole bottle of water when he walked.
Oh no, he was drinking, bro. He was drinking. He definitely, it was definitely a pattern. But again, how much is attributed to how much of the pace Alex pushed? So I don't know. I mean, so bottom line is, I think at some point we will see a rematch because I think it's going to be warranted. But I think Javier has earned the right to fight for that featherweight title, and I think that should come first. And then they can set up the big one with Islam, and Islam can fight, the winner I'm not sure whoever Benil decides to fight next, or the winner, or Benil. I don't. There were rumors that Benil may be fighting Charles Oliveira. Maybe, I don't know. It won't be
maybe
until the UFC announces it. So that's a maybe. That's not a. It's on. It's not on. It's rumored. So until the UFC announces it on their website and it says it's done, it's done. Till then, it's not done. And I'm not gonna ever make that mistake again where I go, oh, they're fighting each other, so we'll fight. No. Wait for the UFC to announce that. But if they do, that would be justifiable. The winner of that would be a justifiable case, like Charles, for the greatness that he did. He redeemed himself, so there's his opportunity. He knocked off the number one guy. Now it's his opportunity, which would be a good decision. And if Benil beats Charles, then Benil's earned the right, without no doubt, that he should be next.
I put up a clip of Charles and Islam backstage. A lot of respect there. A lot of Charles and Islam really getting along nicely backstage. Big respect from Charles Oliveira. No class act of a guy.
He's very respectful. So is Alex. Alex went in the back to thank Islam, and then his coaches and everybody. We all took pictures with everybody. No, this is okay. This is like in soccer. You got Real Madrid versus Brazil. But they still respect each other. They just want to beat each other, right? But the respect level is very high. And this was all this was respect levels really high. We want to challenge you again. We thought we beat you. We want to fight you again. Well, we thought we won, and we don't have a problem fighting you again. That's the attitude I'm taking. Because having a great challenge that Alex possessed and knowing how well he did needs for us to improve on what we need to do when the rematch comes. Because I think there will be a rematch at some point down the line, but I think they both should take care of business in their respective divisions and then collide again and build a colossal fight. Because it could very well be, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they said this one was tracking to be about the third highest pay-per-view for the UFC, the third. So,
wow.
So if this is true, and I'm not saying it is, if it is true, then I think the next one, because the way this ended, could be fantastic. It's like, I'll give you an example why endings can make it look like, it's like a great thing. Like Luke Rockhold, right? He fought Paulo Costas, and he actually lost, right? Every round. He didn't win a round, right? But he made it so entertaining by what he did at the end, right? That everybody was, yeah, Luke. Well, Alex, what he did in the last minute of that round was kind of the same kind of energy, same feeling. And also the crowd, every time Alex did something, was like, yeah. But really, when Islam did something, it wasn't as big as yeah. So for the judges, it was a tough call for them to make that decision, what's right, what's wrong. And I feel they got it all right. I thought it was 49-46, but, I'm not going to debate, 48-47 either, because there was some closer rounds. But I just gave 4 rounds to Islam. And am I biased? Absolutely I'm biased, but that's the way I saw it,
Well, I mean, I would tell you differently if I saw it differently. I wouldn't hold my tongue with you. I just this is what I saw. We see what we see, right?
Yeah.
And I felt 4 when it closed. Some people, I haven't gone back and picked it up with the little tweezers. I stayed focused on it the whole time. And, I definitely say he had the last round. And I will say winning 4 very close rounds. Let's be specific. Those were not 4 wide margins. Those were 4 competitive rounds.
Yeah.
They were earned, every single one of them.
Yeah.
Right? But do you agree with that?
But also you got to remember, he was on the ground for 2 of those rounds, and
true,
he was dominating the ground until the 5th round. The other rounds he wasn't dominating. He was basically he was trying to survive it. And he was talking to Islam. What he was saying, I don't know, but he was on our side. He was saying something like blah blah blah. I don't know what he was saying, but he wasn't winning. He didn't win that round. I don't know how you can win that round by doing this and doing this and that. He was in control. He was in potential of being submitted, So You're not winning rounds you're not causing any kind of damage doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? But he did create interest. He did get the crowd going. Definitely, definitely. I mean, he's a showman, and
Yes.
huge respect to him because when Islam was talking, he has so much power. He tells the crowd to calm down a little bit. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Alex. I'm a fan. I'm sorry. He has my respect. I'm a coach. I'm Islam's guy. I love Islam, and I'm always going to want Islam to win because he's my guy. But that doesn't mean I can't respect another fighter and give him his due. And I do. I respect him immensely, and I think he's the greatest featherweight of all time, and he's going to go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time, doing what he's doing. But again, and you know what? In a way, if you think about it, it's kind of good that these guys are going to fight, hopefully again, because everybody needs that somebody to elevate them. These two might be the 1-2 points that's needed for the good guys to finally get the crowds cheering. The good guys to get everybody on board. The good guys to go, bam! I'm with Canada, Aussie, and then I'm with Russia, or I'm from Dagestan, or I'm from Dubai, la la la. Everybody's got a good guy to go for. There's no bad guy here. They're all both good guys. So I like this kind of rivalry, and it shows you that you can be a true sportsman and have a tremendous following, like both of these guys are doing. They're both sportsmen, they're both gentlemen, and they both are gaining a tremendous following. I think after this fight, they got more respect than ever.
I think Volk's stock went up fan-wise. He's getting more and more popular. A lot of opportunities for him. He showed a lot of great, the way he conducted himself, like you said, like a gentleman, very welcoming to Islam, showed class, showed a challenge, showed conviction, showed fortitude, and showed he's got some secret weapons. And it would be great to see a rematch between these two guys. I don't know. While you were watching it, I mean, after the fight, did you think, oh, we could train up more on these two things, and that would have been better?
Yes.
Or was anything?
Yes. Obviously, my brain was already working. Okay, what do we need to tighten up on certain things? And yes, there is. If there is a rematch somewhere down the line, I already know the things we need to work on to make the adjustments. Because there's gonna need to be adjustments for sure. For sure, need to be adjustments. And
were they adjustments that you anticipated, or were like, ooh, we should have, or were they something like, I thought he had that? Oh, we need to work on that.
No, there were adjustments where you go, okay, the grappling area, okay, the stand-up area, okay, there's things we need to do there. I was ready for everything, but I was not completely ready for Alex's power and stamina in the later rounds. That I wasn't ready for. Like that. I thought he would be a little fatigued himself, but no. He was ready to go. He was so strong. He was ready to go. So that got me. Not his will to win. I saw that. Not his ability. I saw that. But you can have the will. You can have the ability. But if you don't have the cardio and the power, you ain't going nowhere. And he had it. He had the ability and the power in the later rounds. So that was something that has to be looked into for potential rematch, if there was a potential rematch. Who knows? Never know. Anything's possible.
You like the idea of it. You're like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. I think Islam, from what I hear and what I read, I haven't talked to Islam personally, but from what I read, they both are for a rematch down the line. Yeah, and I'm for it too, 100%.
That'd be a sellout show.
Yeah,
people want to know.
It's a huge show. I'm sorry, it's a huge show. It might very well be the biggest show they could do. I think it probably is. I think it was the biggest show they could do because you got fight of the night, and it ended the way it's supposed to end, because you got to remember, Yair Rodriguez's fight was very entertaining, and kudos to him for winning the interim title, and he's got a tough challenge ahead of him, and Yair's a gamer, different style of fighter, so let's see what happens with those two guys. Anything could happen, Yair could upset the apple cart. We're thinking, oh, it's going to be Yair is going to get beat by Alex when they fight, and all of a sudden you go, what happened? It happens. It's happened. You can't underestimate anybody at this level. Look what happened to Usman and Edwards. Everybody was thinking, Usman's got the title, the champ's going to be the champ. All of a sudden, one split second, kaboom, it's over. Well, it happened then. It can happen again. You can't say never. So Yair could definitely create that dynamic, strike to end the fight. So. Who knows? What you have to see. And then who knows on our end what's going to happen, who we fight next, if it's not Alex, if it's somebody else, who knows what's going to happen? Do we win that fight? I don't know. I'm saying yes because I feel he's that good. But, again, anything's possible.
Are you ready to drop a different type of training camp moving forward? Lessons learned from this thing, like for any other fighters, you think too?
No, not so much. I mean, it's just we just adjust to this particular person. But I mean, we would have trained the same, knowing what I knew then. We would have trained the same with how we were doing it. We had it right. We had it right. And they too, they got to adjust too because they thought no way in hell we were going to outstrike them. Well, guess what? We did. Watch the fight. We outstruck them. And I knew we could do that. But that wasn't the preferable choice. But we outstruck him. We did.
I personally saw, well, I've been around a couple of your camps, and I saw that if you had a couple more weeks, 2 or 3 more weeks, maybe that's 5-10% difference. I don't know. Those are little things. Just my guesstimates, my analytical mind. It's not factual. It's just like, what if this? That's kind of like what my mind does.
Well, we only had 2 weeks with me, so I don't know. But he has great coaches with Magomed, and they're incredible coaches. And too bad our other coach, Taekwondo coach, couldn't be there. Because he's tied to the Olympics. The Olympic team in Dagestan, so he had to do that. But he wasn't present. But other than that, we and Habib was a big part. But again, Habib was with him on the phone. Habib was talking to him before we went out. So Habib's presence, was it missed? Yes. Did it make a difference? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Bottom line is we have to do it without him now going forward, and we're going to win without him. We won without him, and we're going to continue to win without him. And one thing I do want to say is one thing that did have me a little concerned, but I wasn't with Islam, but is with Zubaira. I thought Zubaira won his fight 3-0. And
I agree.
The decision was announced, 3-0 the opposite end, and 28-27. I was like, we won. Oh, well. So I was a little concerned because I thought Zubaira won that fight.
I bet you were going, is this going to happen to me now? But they changed judges between each fight, so it wasn't the same.
I didn't think that, but I was ready for anything. I thought we won. I thought we won 4-1. Worst case, 3-2. That's what I thought. So I thought we won. I mean, I even told one of the fighters, I said, no, we won, and he was looking at me like, I go, no, we won. There's just no way we didn't win this fight. We won, and I knew we won. There's just no way, if you take away the crowd, you take away everything. You take away when he did something, it's like you take all that away. Watch, you'll see, we won.
Well, I would say that was definitely Islam's toughest test, and also, I think I don't know if the weather in Dubai, are they comparable as far as heat and all that kind of stuff? Or
no, it's different. It's different. More humid. It's different. Dubai weather's different. More dry. I'm sorry. It's really dry. Yeah. It's different weather. But I'm glad we came here early because it does make a difference. I feel, look, the bottom line is 2 great fighters entered. Number 1 faced number 2. Numbers were exchanged, but greatness is still there on both of their parts. You still have the greatest featherweight, and you have a great lightweight, one of the greatest all-around technicians, champions ever. Soon we'll see where this leads to Islam. But Islam's only going to get better. He's still 31 years old. Alex is 34. Islam's still got more years ahead of him to improve on his greatness. And knowing how the Dagestani guys are with Habib's crew, they're not 100% looking to pass 35 years of age to fight. So don't expect Islam to be hanging out longer than that period of time. But look for him to fight 2 to 3 times a year to accomplish, many goals that he sets for himself, and then move on to the next one. There's a lot more people from AKA and Abdulwanap's gym in Dagestan that are going to come up. They're going to be champions. We have a lot of champions. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The number 1 school, I believe, is Abdulwanap's gym in Dagestan. And combine that with AKA, we're definitely number 1 in the world. The 2 combined.
Yeah.
Them by themselves, probably, but with us and them combined, 100% number 1.
Yeah, I mean, Australia's certainly gamed up since they started in the beginning. I mean, like I told you, when they used to only have one guy representing the UFC in the early days was Elvis Sinisek. Now, way back.
Way back. And Elvis was a trooper, man. He fought all comers. He fought veteran, when he was probably Dan outweighed him for maybe 160, 60 pounds, 70 pounds, and he fought him. And he lasted the whole round with Dan. Dan didn't finish him. Elvis was tough, and then Frank Shamrock ended up fighting Elvis in the Tokyo Dome in Japan. I think it was like 72,000 or 52,000 people were there. Unbelievable! Wow. I couldn't believe it. I think it was 72,000 at the Tokyo Dome. Whatever the Tokyo Dome capacity is, that's what it was.
How many people do you think were in the stadium last night when you were at the
I don't know, maybe 20,000, 18, 20,000. I think they could have held this in an arena. There's an arena here, football arena. I think that was 50,000 or so. They could have held it there, and they would have sold out there this month.
Wow. So did you have a lot of people recognize you when you walked around out there? That's what you're telling, like MMA is a big deal in Australia.
Yeah. And Islam is he is well known here. He is definitely well known here. I'm known here, not super well known, but I'm definitely I'm known. I definitely am known, because especially with the Muslim community, they have a Muslim community, and I'm definitely known with them. But yeah, Australia has not that many sports celebrities, from what I was told. So when they have a sports person coming in the area, that's kind of for them special. So in Perth, I don't know about Brisbane or Sydney, but in Perth, they told me that not many sports celebrities are around this area. So Islam was a big hit.
That's pretty interesting. So you could be in certain countries, like in the States, you're an MMA fighter. You're big if you're hanging out at Fight Week at the Mandalay Bay Hotel in Vegas near the Apex. But outside of that, when you go home, a couple people know you around the town.
Yeah.
Right. And then in Russia, you go to Dagestan and everybody knows you. They're chasing Habib around like the Beatles, right?
Yeah. Those guys are humongous celebrities in Dagestan. Habib and Islam and Abu Bakr, Usman, Umar, Shafi. All those guys are becoming, all those guys. Tahir. I mean, there's so many well-known people now in Dagestan, from Abdulmanov's gym. There's so many. It's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a great place to have a gym, Australia, I bet. I don't know. I've never been. I want to go. You're like, is he ready to get back? I mean, you've enjoyed that's kind of not really a vacation at all, even though it's a beautiful place. It's work.
No, it's a beautiful place, but it wasn't a vacation at all. It was work. I was mostly in my room the majority of the time. I did travel a little bit, but not too much. But it's beautiful. The people were very, very nice. All nice people. I didn't meet anybody that was bad. They were all nice.
I heard the food is really good down there too. Really
food's
fresh.
Good. Yeah, food's good. Food's good. It's just like the U.S. Good food. Good food. It wasn't no bad food. Good food.
So your next move is to come back for Usman and Umar.
I come back. Usman and Umar. Yeah.
Abu Bakr. Yeah.
Abu Bakr is
Abu Bakr. Always
Manap. Just call Manap. Manap's fighting March 11th against a really good striker, a strong striker. So that's going to be a fun fight. Usman is fighting Benson Henderson March 10th in Bellator, to defend his title again in that $1 million tournament. Umar, we're hoping Umar can get a fight. He hasn't had a fight yet, but we're still crossing our fingers. He's training for a fight. Let's see where the UFC puts him before Ramadan. So we're trying to get a fight before Ramadan. We don't know yet. And, Enrique Barzola, he's fighting on the Bellator event, and that'll be his move up to weight 145. So we'll see how well he does. I got Theo Haig, another up-and-coming kid that I think's got great promise fighting in Bellator. We got quite a few people. Vlad's fighting in the heavyweight division. And I got Mo Alarek, who I think is going to be a star. He's fighting in the UAE, in March. So we'll see. We'll see. But things are looking good.
Are you going to go over for that one, or are you going to probably stay home for that one?
I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be back in Dubai because I have some other things I have to attend to with friends and business. I'm not sure. I might be there for that fight. I might not make it in time.
Okay.
I would like to be there, but most fought without me already. 3 times.
One of the guys that came on in the fan questions, and we didn't get a chance because the transmissions were bad. I wasn't able to feed them to you. So people were like, "Where'd my fan question go?" We'll get back to them. I had that clip, and it's like, since you're not in the States, the transmission and doing the podcast, I think I looked it up, was 13,000 miles away from me. 13,000 miles. I mean, more than across the States twice. Yeah, east to west coast and back. And so I think that does affect it also. You never know what Wi-Fi you get in a hotel. But it sounds like it turned out to be a really good event. I mean, now you get the pound for pound. Man, you keep adding champions to the wall. It's getting kind of wild there. You're going to run out of wall space at AKA.
Yeah, I mean, the next one I'm 100% positive is going to be a champion this close is Umar. Umar's going to be the next champion. He's going to be the next bantamweight champion of the UFC. You hear it now, you'll see it later. I'm telling you right now, the next champ is Umar. He's the next champ.
I was uploading one of your vids, and it was one of the mail calls. People are going to love it if you get some more of those when you get home. Yeah, make sure everybody watching this start sending fan mail to Usman and Umar if you wanted to, over at AK Gym in San Jose. You can find it online at AKA Jim, on Google. But yeah, those guys. I was listening to Usman talking to you, and I never really watched those two spar. And he's like, "How'd you like sparring with your brother?" So Usman, who's already a champion, sparred with Umar. He's like, "Oh my gosh, that was tough. That was hard." That was his takeaway from Umar.
No, they went at it really good. Umar's special, man. He's special. I mean, people can look at all my interviews, and when I say stuff about guys like that, we said it about Islam, we said it about Habib, I've said it about Luke Rockhold, I've said it about Cain Velasquez, I've said it about so many people. When I talk like this, they are champions. Every one of these guys that I said was going to be a champion is a champion. And I'm telling you guys, Umar will be a champion. 100%.
What is the secret sauce? How do you know when you got one? You're like a connoisseur.
I just look at it because they're in my presence. I see what they have. I see their sparring. I see how they dominated in sparring. And there's no secret. I can't tell you who else is going to be a champion by watching them on TV. No, I have to see him in person. And the reason why I'm that confident in Umar, because I see him in person. I see him training. I see him working out. I see him sparring. If I don't see the sparring and I don't see the training in person, I'm not going to be able to pick him. I'm going to be like everybody else, But no, I can pick it only because I visually, eye to eye, see him right in front of me.
What is it that stands out on a champion when you see one? Some of the characteristics.
Many different characteristics. Is some that willingness is number one. The willingness to never lose, You get something in on them, they want to get you back. There's payback time, and they do it right away. They don't hesitate. They don't hide it. They don't hide. They come forward. Like I'll give you an example. Alex and Islam, they both did that. You nailed me, I nailed you. It's like they were both willing to not take backward step. Nope. You hit me, okay, I'm coming back. That's what takes a champion right there. What both of them did. If I had Alex, I would have predicted a champion in him because I would have had him. I would have seen that. And in Islam, same like I predicted, because I see that in both of them, and that's one of the characteristics to look at. Not the only, but one of them.
I think for some reason, I don't know, part of me is like, man, Yair would have been fun for you to be part of your team at one time. But he's got a great team, great coaches, but it would have been an interesting mix to have like Yair with you.
No, there's so many people that could have been great with us, but you know what? He's got a great team, got a great.
He's already got it. Yeah, he's got it already.
God, he don't need it. He don't need any of us. He's got what he needs. They're good guys. They're good coaches. He don't need us by any means. A lot of people don't need us. They have great coaching. We're not the only show in town. If we were, then we'd dominate everything. But we're not dominating everything. If we did, we'd have every weight category. We don't. So we're definitely a great camp. Yes, but we're not the only great camp. There's other ones.
And the gym is it's back to normal. People go there, no restrictions. They can sign up now these days, right?
Yeah,
join AK Gym.
Yeah, zero restrictions. The gym's doing better than ever. A lot of students, the jiu-jitsu programs is number one in our region. I think it's ranked really high in competition. Ron Kessler, our jiu-jitsu coach and head MMA coach, when I'm gone, and actually when I'm there, he's doing an unbelievable job. They keep placing first. Almost every tournament they enter, they win. In both categories, men, adults and kids.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we never had that in AK. We never had winning. We've had some first places here and there, but we never won team. But we keep winning team almost every time that he enters with the full squad. We win almost every time.